Guys, the Super Review Show here for another episode of Why You Should Watch. Again, this is the new show we started here talking about TV shows and movies that you guys might want to check out based on my recommendations. So here we go. Today's Why You Should Watch video is on Seinfeld. Now, for those of you who don't know what Seinfeld is, shame on you, first and foremost, for not knowing what that show is. It is widely regarded as one of the greatest, not just sitcoms of all time, but one of the greatest TV shows of all time. It is up there in the top 5, as far as I can tell, on many, many, many lists of the greatest TV shows ever created, including Twilight Zone, including Star Trek, including Batman 66, including Frasier, Friends, Cheers. It is one of the greatest TV shows ever. Just saying. Let me just put the foot down right there, right? Now, that being said, the show focuses on 4 main characters: Jerry Seinfeld, Elaine, George, and Kramer. These 4 characters are forever, to me personally, cemented in timeless, complete. They're timeless to me. I love this show so much. I was raised watching Seinfeld because Seinfeld ended in like May of '98, and I was born in October of '98. So I never like saw it on rerun. I only saw it on reruns. I never saw like actual new episodes come out. But I did watch a lot of reruns of it, and it is hysterical. One of the funniest shows quite possibly ever. It wasn't, and this is just a fun fact, I didn't know it was not the number 1 show on TV until like its 6th or 7th season. Which is hard to believe because seasons 3, 4, and 5 of it, like in the 92, 3, 4, or I don't know, 91, 92, 93, that era of Seinfeld, that run of it was, there's some of the best episodes and most quotable episodes of all time. See, one thing that I put Seinfeld over Friends in this aspect is you don't really remember a lot of the things that Friends, you know, the characters have said. There's no quotable moments, whereas I can refer to at least 10 right off the top of my head. The Bubble Boy, the Man-Eater, the Man Hands, she's a regifter, he's a Two-Face. These are quotable lines from this iconic TV show. He's a bubble boy. You know, it's some of the funniest moments on TV happened on Seinfeld. And thank God it's finally on Netflix, so you can watch the whole series basically from start to finish and see the evolution of this show. From 1989 was the pilot, and then they greenlit the show after that for like 5 episodes in the first season. Then it went to season 2, season 3, and there are some of the most funniest moments on TV history. George Costanza. Let me just try to all that for a second. I personally have been compared to George Costanza and Kramer as one person, as one amalgamation of the 2 characters in one person. I mean, like Kramer is hysterical. George freaking Costanza, though, everyone can relate to a George because he's trying to find a job. He's always running low on money. He's unemployed and lives with his parents. A lot of people can relate to that. It's just the truth. Kramer is the next door neighbor. His whole life is a fantasy camp. He does nothing. He falls ass backwards into money, has sex without dating, and eats food off his neighbors. That is a fantasy camp, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying. This show has stood the test of time. It has so many classic moments in it, like just quotable moments. The overall story arc of the show is it's Jerry Seinfeld. It's a comedian in New York City, and he's friends with an ex-girlfriend. He has his best friend from high school and his across the hall roommate, neighbor, Kramer. This show and these 4 characters just get into their own like individual these own moments of like, oh my god, like it's funny. True story. Think about it for a sec. If you put cell phones in the show, it's not funny. If you put cell phones in Seinfeld, it's not as funny. Well, how do you say that? Why do you say that? Because the thing is, with Seinfeld, a lot of it was based on like dialogue happening or miscommunication between certain characters and certain other people. So it's so like with texting now and calling and FaceTime and everything, wouldn't be as funny with with that type of dialogue today, unfortunately. I mean, I wouldn't call it a weakness of the show. I just call it like that's how it was of its time. And I talked about this on Mixed Bag at one point. The series finale to me is, I think it's great. I mean, some people didn't like it like a lot because basically, George, the four of them go to jail for not being a good Samaritan and being arrested, basically. And I liked it personally. Was it the greatest series finale ever? Could they have ended the show better? Maybe. Overall, I liked it though. But there are so many classic episodes and moments from the show, like the soup Nazi, the bubble boy, the nose, not the nose picker. I'm trying to think. There's just so many like moments that happen in this show that are not just about these four characters, but they're about life. Like these are things that happen to people, and some of them happen to everyday people. And sure enough, like it's just a classic show with classic moments, and some of the moments in the show have kind of emerged themselves into our everyday life. Like I'm sure everyone can relate to a man hands. I'm sure everyone can relate. Someone in life can relate to someone who runs out of a building and pushes everyone aside in the middle of a fire. Or I'm sure everyone can relate to a Jerry Seinfeld, a George Costanza, an Elaine Bennis, or a Cosmo Kramer. This show is timeless to me. I love the show so much. If you have not seen, and I've seen the whole show, I've seen every single episode from start to finish over the course of like a year or two or so. I binge watched it on DVD. That's how big of a fan I am of Seinfeld. But what do you think? Are you a fan of Seinfeld? Jump down to the comment section below. Share your thoughts on this. And like this video. Hit the bell. Whatever you got to do. But share your love of Seinfeld. If you haven't seen it, jump down to the comment section below and tell me, have you wanted to watch it, but you're unsure of it? Does it look not as funny to you as some people might think it is? Jump down, whatever you're thinking there, jump in the comment section below, share your thoughts on this. But for all of your why you should watch videos, keep it locked on the Super Review Show. The J-Man is off to rock. We'll see you guys later. And no soup for you.